Let's go to something a little different, and I'm going to play this this NBC report about reincarnation.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we have a phone call first. Phone call.
What's your favorite glory hole?
Who's on the phone, please?
Chris.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good. I just wanted to say, Mike, that Midwest Apathy album that you put out.
Yes.
Man, that was really good. That was like a really good metalcore album.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't subscribe to YouTube, I uploaded an album that I wrote and recorded on with my friend Scott and the drummer Chad, and we put that out in like 2004, 2005. Yeah, so thank you.
And that was you on vocals and guitar.
Yeah, we were a three-piece band.
I would never guess that was you. You're so mild-mannered.
Well, I mean, yeah, a mild-mannered podcast host by day, and at night I scream a lot
You're a fucking madman.
I mean, I appreciate it, but you know, it's definitely hard to sing like that. I will upload our second album probably next week, and if you like the first one, it's probably more kind of like that one, but more refined. Yeah, I can scream in a metal band, but I certainly can't sing for shit.
Well, it was great. I really liked it.
Yeah, I appreciate
I'm an old metalhead. I go way back in the metal scene, and that was really good.
I appreciate. Yeah, that demo or album almost got us signed to Hatebreed's label, and they just fell through. You know, and then I got sick with lupus, and I really couldn't tour or play out that much anymore. We continued to write music, but I just at that point in my life, I knew that touring and trying to make that band even further or go further than what it was, it just wasn't really in the cards for me. So
that's bullshit.
Right. Well,
I appreciate you listening to it.
Yeah, you should have persevered on, Mike, but it's okay. I love it. I love that you're podcasting. So
I initially started the podcast as a means to promote my band, and then the podcast just kind of took over. Like I initially started the podcast to like play music and talk about music and play some like local bands and like promote my own stuff. But then it just kind of became a beast of its own. So
right.
You got anything else for us, Chris?
Well, just my vote's for Pussy Monster. That's
okay.
It.
We'll put you down a vote. Maybe we can lock you in on for Pussy Monster right there. We'll see if we can do it. You're locked in.
By the way,
now.
that's a great cat name, Pussy Monster. By the way,
terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
I love it.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate
it.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, Pussy Monster was a pretty good one, man. They're making it hard to choose. That was so fun.
Let's blow up.
Oh man, so mean.
All
yeah,
right.
and a little origin story for the show. That's always fun.
Yeah, just geez, yeah. Playing a metal band was a big part of my life for so darn long, and I'm still writing music. Yeah, and put up some of that stuff on YouTube. So yeah.
Mike was notorious for always wearing like a studded, or was it spiked leather, black leather? Always wearing black.
Yes, and back in college, I would wear like a studded leather jacket, and I was really punk rocked and metaled out. But
so punk and metal, totally.
Oh my god, yeah,
so hardcore. Now you just look like you could fucking get on a tractor any minute.
Yep. It's a lot of work dressing up and wearing that shit, and I kind of just grew out of trying to look like a punk rocker and trying to look like I was part of a scene. Everyone's trying to belong, dude. Everyone's trying to be somebody.
That was my favorite thing about college, is that everybody was all trying to be different in the exact same way. I'm going to dye my hair. I'm going to dye my hair. I'm going to get bell-bottom jeans. I'm going to get bell-bottom jeans. Look how different we all are. We're
that's
all the
exactly
same.
what happened. Everyone started to become the same. But only to each other, out to the normies out there and the rest of society, we were a bunch of freaks.
Okay, well, I'm glad there's that.
Yeah. So I got this reincarnation story from NBC News. and this is Lester Holt talking about this. This is probably going to give us another content strike, but this is another reason why you should subscribe to the audio-only feed. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Lester?
We're back now with a tale that you have to hear all the way to the very last twist. A young boy who says he remembers things he couldn't possibly from a time long before he was born. That's according to his mom. She turned to experts of the mind for some answers. NBC's Cynthia McFadden tonight with the incredible story of what they found.
It's not unusual for little boys to have vivid imaginations, but Ryan's stories were legendary.
He said, "Mom, I have something I need to tell you. I think I used to be somebody else." And he started just telling me these stories about how he had lived in Hollywood. His stories were so detailed. It just wasn't like a child that could have made it up.
Ryan talked about dancing on Broadway, working for an agency, traveling the world, being married 5 times. He even said the street he lived on had the word rock in it.
And it would be, "My last room was grander. I want to go back to my swimming pool."
But things got really strange when they picked up a book about the golden age of Hollywood.
She turns to a page and I say, "That's me. That's who I was.
That's me."
Yeah.
But the man in the picture wasn't even a major star, just an unnamed extra with no lines in an old Mae West film. That's when Ryan's mother turned to this man, Dr. Jim Tucker, a child psychiatrist at the University of Virginia. For 50 years, the prestigious school has collected more than 2,500 cases of children claiming past lives.
And your conclusion after 15 years is what?
These cases demand an explanation, that we can't just write them off.
He's written about them in his book, Return to Life.
Had you
Well, getting some science involved into reincarnation and past life. I'm going to play the rest of this because I find it absolutely fascinating. But there you have a researcher looking into this stuff for 15 years, and he doesn't have what I guess a current scientific explanation to what these kids are experiencing or remembering. Let's play the rest of this.
Ever given much
play the rest of it.
to
Sorry,
this whole idea of reincarnation?
No, ma'am. I grew up in a Baptist church. You know, that's not something that we were taught to believe in.
But with the help of a movie historian, the man Ryan pointed to in the picture was finally identified. His name, Marty Martin. And just like Ryan said, he was a former actor turned Hollywood agent who danced on Broadway, was married 5 times, and even lived on Roxbury Drive in Beverly Hills. In all, Dr. Tucker confirmed that 55 of the things Ryan said were true.
Of course, a lot of people are going to say, come on, this is the parent or somebody else feeding them information.
I mean, it's just inconceivable that the parents, for some reason, had done all that. This information wasn't on the internet.
But there was one fact the detail-obsessed scientist thought Ryan had wrong.
And he said he didn't see why God would let you get to be 61 and then make you come back as a baby. That looked like just an incorrect statement.
That's because Martin's death certificate says he was 59 when he died.
Since then, I've gotten information that the death certificate was actually incorrect, which would have made Marty Martin 61 when he died. Ryan was right all along.
Are you glad you've had this experience? Yes, I am.
A chance, he says, to live his own wonderful life. Cynthia McFadden, NBC News, Tulsa.
I think there's a shift going on, not only in mainstream news, but just in general, being more accepting of paranormal stuff. I think there's a real genuine shift going on. This is NBC News talking about this, giving validity to this topic that 5 years ago would have been laughed off.
It's like to the Time Life thing that we bring up on the show now and then.
Yes, Time Life magazine presents.
And Media Monarchy, James Evan Pilato, who was on the show a few years ago, what was it, last year? He always says that mainstream culture ate conspiracy culture, and now they're selling it back to you. Yeah. I think he's right.
That very well could be true. I can see that. I mean, conspiracies are a super hot topic right now. So is paranormal stuff. I mean, look at Ghost Adventurers or even like scary videos and stories. They're huge on YouTube. There's a big audience for that stuff. But the problem is that YouTube doesn't want to recommend conspiracy theories anymore, at least the videos. But then then they have to determine what is a a conspiracy theory versus what is just a paranormal kind of encounter? Do you consider UFOs and aliens to be paranormal or conspiracy? And then what if it's not a conspiracy, then how do you explain MJ-12 and Eisenhower, Area 51? So it gets very dicey when they try to curate reality for people.
Yeah. What does the Ministry of Truth say about this?
Ah, yes. I do have an article about this.
Saw it on Snopes.
I do have an article about that. Is that people it's got to be a struggle when they're trying to determine what is reality and what is not. Like this article from the Daily Grail, and this directly relates to what we're talking about with mainstream media talking about conspiracy theories. This is titled "Weaponizing Conspiracy Theory: The Dangers in Priming People for Armed Revolution."
Oh, God.
And this story goes over a form of propaganda. I'll read a little bit of this. I'll start off and I'll skip down to the end. But the words of the French Enlightenment philosopher Voltaire above have often in recent years been used to explain the madness of religious terrorism. By getting lost in a belief system, one can often lose their moral compass, or perhaps more correctly, have it realigned, and by submitting to that belief system also surrenders their agency. In the last couple of years, however, Voltaire's statement has often come to my mind as I've watched the viral takeover of certain sections of the political spectrum by outlandish conspiracy theories. A number of readers of the Grail have cited my focus in recent months on broadcaster Alex Jones and the somewhat linked Pizzagate and QAnon conspiracy theories. But that focus comes from both a deep interest and concern at what has been unfolding over the past 10 to 15 years in the conspiracy theme. And this is a very long article, but there's been articles similar, or in a very similar fashion along these lines, of people being very concerned about what people believe and then what action they take with that belief system. And look at it. This is well-sourced article, and I love the Daily Grail. They put out a lot of cool stuff. So I'll just go to the last little paragraph here. So it's important for the rest of us, from conspiracy believer through the hardcore skeptic, to realize how conspiracy theories can push us to commit atrocities. That doesn't mean we should make discussion of conspiracy theory a forbidden topic. Conspiracies happen all the time, and it's important they can be brought to light. But this shows us the importance of staying rational, understanding that certain people might be pushing agendas rather than the search for truth, and perhaps most importantly of all, retaining our moral compass. And I think that's very important. I agree with that. Like, when we entertain these ideas, you got to keep somewhat grounded. You got to keep your cool, Joe. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
I was a real horse's ass. I apologize.
Yeah. Thanks, Hulk. He's my advocate.
My head was huge, all right.
It's fun to talk about these topics. It really is. I love talking about all this stuff, but as soon as you become a zealot, it's no longer fun. Then it becomes just something to kind of like use against somebody. I don't like that. But this article is up. It's posted in the description. You guys can check it out. They talk about the QAnon thing that has just kind of taken over a large section of the conspiracy realm. We had the guy, one of the big QAnon guys on from YouTube, Dustin, and I don't think he convinced me one way or the other.
Yeah, I think we were both kind of middle there.
Yeah.
He's definitely a believer, and I think there's certain things that when the predictions show up, but I don't follow it enough.
It's just one of the things. I don't have the time to follow the QAnon conspiracy all the way so I can catch every little thing, then look in the news to see if it's verified or not. I think it's interesting, and I'm sure if something really interesting happens, someone will let me know. But I don't know. I know Lionel from Lionel Nation, he's all in with the QAnon conspiracy. Yes, he is.
Really?
Yes, you are. 614-388-9109. We'll take some phone calls. And Joe, do you got anything you want to talk about over there?
For the stuff we were just talking about?
Whatever. We can move on to some new topics.
Let's let some people talk. I mean, I could bring up some stuff. I mean, there's definitely things happening.
I got stuff. I have definitely some one or two stories I definitely want to get to. But we'll take this call real quick. You are on the air.
Holy crap, guys. I wasn't even expecting to get on. I was just calling to see if the phone lines were open. Teddy Spaghetti here, guys, about the reincarnation thing.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever go over birthmarks and their possibility that they might be linked to a past life? I know I have one on top of my head and one over my heart. Maybe I was a sacrifice victim.
I've never talked about that before, but I now that you mentioned it, I do remember that as being some sort of explanation. Do you know anything more about that other than that's what it is?
I don't necessarily, I don't know what I think about reincarnation, but I've heard that, and to tell you the truth, like, it was one of those things I didn't want to hear, because, like, I kind of looked at my birthmarks, like, and, I didn't want to get too paranoid, like, what happened to me in my past life, who killed me, who stabbed me in my heart, but it's a curious line of thinking, I think.
I believe in reincarnation. I know I had the Akashic Records readings, and went. Again, had that my Akashic Records read to me, meaning that it will go and tell you about some past life experiences. It doesn't really tell you what you need to work on this life. And the point I think of reincarnation is that you are supposed to keep coming back until you learn all the lessons you're supposed to learn to where you can ascend to a higher plane. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the point of it all. And that from life to life, you carry through certain traumas. And if you continue down that path of just repeating the same old shit, not acknowledging past traumas and trying to resolve it, you're going to come back again.
That brings up an interesting question about dictators, especially like Mao, Stalin, Hitler. Do you think those guys are walking the earth these days? And if so, do you think they are down here in the lower class system with us? Do you think they're reincarnated to an aristocratic level to rule other countries and perhaps make the same mistakes over until they get it right?
I see. I have pretty good evidence that Hitler got reincarnated as Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
Reincarnation has always been an interesting subject, and I'm curious about it, although I am kind of worried of the implications.
What do you mean by worried about the implications?
Like what I was just saying, Hitler or Stalin or Mao, just be giving those monsters a second chance to monster it up would be worrisome.
I see your point. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, like the new baby Hitler, like which baby do we have to kill?
Yeah,
I think Planned Parenthood's got it covered.
I see your point in that. But hypothetically, Hitler gets reincarnated. Let's just go with Stalin. Stalin gets reincarnated. He doesn't at that point that new person who has the memories or that light or that trauma or whatever experience Stalin had. You hopefully that doesn't carry through to current day where they feel the urge to become a tyrannical dictator and slaughter millions of people. You hope that you learn from their past mistakes and that they try to go a different path.
Raise your kids right, people.
Yeah, stop raising your kids to be horrible dictators.
All right.
Well, actually, here's also another question, the opposite of nirvana, the opposite of becoming one with one. Is it possible to accrue so much negative karma that you have no more chances of reincarnation?
Oh,
like how many lifetimes would Hitler have to go through?
That.
Or Stalin have to go through?
I love that. I'm gonna have to bring on another psychic or a channeler and ask them, like, do you have an infinite amount of lives to get it right, or do you at some point they say, listen, Hitler, we gave you a bunch of chance, you're going to fucking hell, dude. I would, yeah. Or maybe if someone is just so bad, someone just is such an awful person that they never get a chance to redeem themselves, or possibly they have to reincarnate at this infinitum because they never get it right, and that this is a form of hell to a certain degree. But I don't believe that. I don't know. That's a good question, Teddy.
Yeah, that's about all I got. Besides, I want to talk to the CIA personally here. I just want to tell them to get out of the conspiracy groups and the contacts. This is our realm. We will find you, you CIA, glow-in-the-dark people. And that's about all I got.
Oh, my.
That was a good call.
All right, Teddy. We'll let him know. Bye.
Thank you.
My Lord. That was unlike Teddy. He's telling the CIA to stay out of the content, and this is weird.
I hope you dump a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call there, Teddy.
If you want to join the Slack or Discord, give us an email at ourbigdumbmouth@gmail.com. Check out obdmpod.com for all the social media and donation links. Be a part of the magic.